What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fishing. Class is in session. Got my purple monster dry. It's dented, but it's drinkable. Ready to do this thing. Today, I am going to take a look at a traveling knife from everybody's favorite knife brand, except mine, Victorinox. This is a traveling knife. That's my dog. It's been sent around. She's a boxer. It's been sent around the knife community, and it made its way to me. And I'm really surprised after the last traveling knife review that I did on the Grandway knife, where I made up this big elaborate story about the pattern, that they actually would send me another knife. But they did. I'm excited to take a look at it. So let's get this camera spun around and take a closer look. Alright, this traveling knife was started by my buddy Jonathan over there at CB Tactical. Go subscribe to his channel. We love Jonathan. Awesome channel. Go subscribe. Jonathan sent it to Tom over at Knife Delights. We all know Tom. We love Tom. If you don't know Tom, go subscribe. Tom sent it to RJ over at RJ's Knives. I don't have one of his stickers here. I have one of his stickers, but it's already stuck to something. So Tom sent it to RJ. RJ sent it to Andrew Baxter over at Baxter's Blades. Go subscribe to his channel. Baxter sent it on to JB over at Big Red EDC. And JB sent it to John over at JO Ventures. And John sent it to me. When I'm finished with it, it's going to go to Jack over at Factors of Jack. So let's take a look at this Victorinox. Comes in your standard Victorinox box, and the model that we're looking at here is called the Hunter XT. Alright, so it comes in this nice nylon pouch. It's got the Victorinox shield on here, riveted belt loop. Looks like a pretty good belt sheath pouch. Alright, so what we've got here is the Victorinox Hunter XT. We've got what feels like ABS type scales on here that's got maybe a little bit of rubber for some added grip. We've got the Victorinox shield on there. This lanyard and bead did not come with the knife. John over at JO Ventures put that on there. Very nice gesture. He always does stuff like that. He's a great guy. So this is a purpose-driven knife, and it is designed for hunters. And I think it looks like frog eyes, like a little frog. Doesn't that look like a frog? Definitely looks like a frog to me. So, our main blade here, it has a thumb hole opening, and you can thumb roll it, slow roll it open. We've got a spear point blade here. What's unusual about this knife is that you have to push the liner lock the opposite direction. Instead of pushing the liner lock to the inside to close it, on this blade you have to push it to the outside. So what that means is you're not closing it with one hand. I might be able to by pushing that way with my thumb while pulling up with my finger, but what's going to happen is I'm going to end up chopping my thumb off. So I think that's a flaw in the design of this knife. They created a knife that is meant to be opened with one hand. However, you cannot close this blade with one hand. This blade you can open with one hand, but the liner lock on this one pushes to the inside, so you can also close it with one hand. Like I said, this is a hunter's knife. We've got a skinning blade there. Over here we've got a gut hook. Somewhere in the middle here we have a bone saw. On the back we have a Phillips head screwdriver. Now, I already told you it looks like a frog, but it also looks like Gonzo the Great from the Muppet Show. It also looks like a plague doctor. It looks like a frog cartoon. This might be the ugliest knife that I've ever seen. In the history of knives, this might be the ugliest knife I've ever seen. Yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly. I would never carry it as an everyday carry because it's a little too big for me. And, you know, it's a purpose-built knife. It's made for hunting. So let me just preface what I'm saying about this knife. Let me just explain. Every Victorinox that I have ever bought is right here. The floral knife. the gardening knife, and the Swiss Army one. That is every Victorinox that I have ever bought in my life. What do you notice about them? They are all just single-bladed knives. That's it. These are just pocket knives that have one function, one use. I mean, I like them. I really like these A-lock scales. And I also like the sheep's foot on these floral knives. And for the record, I think in Europe they call it a gardening knife. In America, they call it a floral knife. I think they just named it different for one name for the European market, one name for the American market. So this knife I would never carry. I think it's too big and too bulky. I think it's terribly ugly. And I hate to say that, but I do. I think it's ugly. And I also don't like my knives to be multi-tools. I just don't. And I get it that this is not a multi-tool per se. I mean, it's got blades, but it's got just the one additional tool, which is the screwdriver. That's just not my thing. It's just not. When I carry a knife, I want it to be a knife with one blade or two blades. I don't want my knives to have all kinds of gadgets and stuff on them. It's just my thing. I guess I'm weird that way. I'm not the biggest fan of Victorinox. Now, their fit and finish is good. I mean, they're well built. This knife, I don't get it though. I don't understand it. I'm not trying to make my buddy Jonathan over there upset or anything if he loves this knife. But this is not a knife I would even take hunting with me. I wouldn't. I would take a fixed blade. You know, that's what I'm taking hunting. And then I would take a regular pocket knife. I wouldn't take this. So for me, this would be something that would go in the toolbox. That's probably about it. Not for me. Sorry, guys. I would never buy this knife. I would never carry this knife. I just wouldn't have it. It's just not for me. That's not to say that it can't be perfectly suitable and functional for other people, because it is very well built. With that said, I'm coming from a completely different perspective when it comes to Victorinox knives, right? I'm not a Victorinox guy. I'm not a multi-tool guy. I'm a knife guy. But that's just me. And that's why we do these traveling knives, is to get everybody's different perspective. It wouldn't be any fun if we all said it's a lovely knife and yay. For me, no thank you. Just wanted to share that with you. I'm still glad that they included me on this. It is nice to get some other Victorinoxes in hand, because I really haven't had a chance to handle very many of them other than this and maybe a classic SD and a Tinker back in the day or something like that. I haven't had a chance to handle any of these bigger ones. So it is nice to get a chance to get a look at it up close. And so when I'm done with this is going over to Jack over at Factors of Jack. So you guys make sure to go check out his video and subscribe to his channel. Go to Jonathan over there at CB Tactical, who started this traveling knife. Subscribe to his channel as well. Awesome guy, great content. I appreciate you guys for including me on this traveling knife. As always, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment down in the comment section. If you want to tell me I'm crazy for hating on the Victorinox knife, go ahead. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click on my logo right over there. We're almost to 2,000 subscribers, and I'm having a big giveaway when I get there, so click right there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish, boys and girls. Class dismissed.